affected, if that makes sense. We've had a couple of upsets, particularly, Kusi being on the loser side of things, and a couple of like standout performances from people like Ben L, who's on the Sentinels dev team, kind of making a run for it right now. That being said, we will not be watching Ben L right this very second. We will be watching Tac0caT and BioBirb. From what I can tell in the chat, both fan favorites. I know Bio very well. And I recently got to see Tac0caT, so I'm very interested to see how these two end up clashing, how these two end up facing off against each other, especially because I feel like this is non-controversial, but that Kragg and Maypul are probably among the best characters in the game right now, in my opinion, at the very least. I feel like that's not too controversial to take.
No, for sure. You're 100% on point about that. They're both extremely strong characters. Bio obviously like very popular across multiple games, like Rivals, Multiverses, especially. Whereas Tac0caT is more so, I think, Rivals and Ultimate. But Tac0caT is interesting because I run a lot of the amateur brackets in Rivals 1, and Taco is one of the players ever since I started running stuff and taking a lot of things over. One of the players I saw have the fastest improvement from like low level to high level, and then stop playing as much because of school. But it's always great to see him back. Very flashy player a lot of the time with some very sick combos once he gets going.
That's definitely true, and if I know anything about Bio, it's he's always looking for something, silly or quirky to try and make something weird happen in game.
Oh yeah.
He's at least sent me a clip or two of something wacky that he found, just that makes the game look like it doesn't work. So I feel like Kragg is right up his alley in terms of creativity of the character. I feel like Kragg gets to do a lot of stuff that other characters don't, and I think it's quite unique in the way that he gets to play, especially pressuring off stage like that with Rog.
Yeah, just catching with the snipe right there. Obviously, Bio is very much known for his raster in the first game, but he's played a lot of Kragg, and especially as he wind down competing, you saw a lot more of the Kragg come in, like doubles and singles, both. So I'm honestly not too surprised to see him play Kragg here, because Kragg's a relatively low maintenance character with a lot of room for like innovation, like you said.
That's what I was thinking too. I think one of the things that makes Kragg so hard to play against, particularly in Rivals 2, is the kind of mental stack that you have to properly play against Kragg. You have to be worried about so many options at the same time that it becomes a really big hassle to maneuver around them all at the same time. And when you are the Kragg player, you kind of have the freedom of knowing you have that many options and utilizing them in whatever unique way you kind of want to. On the other side of things, the Maypul really comes in clutch here, because despite Kragg having a ton of options and a ton of things you have to worry about, Maypul's game plan, I think at least, is somewhat linear and is largely revolved around kind of player expression in terms of how you use that speed to find your openings.
Yeah, for sure, and that's definitely the kind of dynamic you saw in the first game as well, where I think that Maypul can at times run circles around Kragg when playing effectively, but there's a lot of things that can happen that can very quickly turn the tides in terms of Kragg having stronger edge guarding, being able to live longer, which just gives him more opportunities to win neutral, like just off of some kind of stray hit. So, especially against a seasoned player like Bio, Taco's really going to have to be sure to keep his cool, because Maypul being the last cannon has much lower margin for error compared to Kragg, who's like generally a surprisingly consistent character for his archetype.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a strange thing to see a character in the heavy archetype have like such a strong recovery, a strong combo game, and kind of like the unique options that Kragg has. I think it differentiates him from a lot of heavies in other games, but it can also be a part of why he can be quite frustrating to play against.
Yeah, at least in Rivals 1, I think in this game they really tried to lean him more into the grappler archetype, but in the first game he really is a hybrid of like a zoner and a brawler character, which gives a lot of versatility that's pretty much only hampered by his low speed. Ooh, up airs.
All right, a little bit of play off stage, 170% on Kragg right now. We've seen time and time again this character be so hard to kill, but the tether into the nair is going to take the stock off stage. And I like how Maypul players, just because up air is a little bit inconsistent off the back of the tether, have been working in how to get that nair. I've seen it a couple times today, killing off the side as opposed to going for the up air in those situations.
Yeah, for sure. A fair amount of ways to use Tether, though. It's definitely one of those things where I find that most Maypul players are going to be using it in a small handful of the same situations, despite how versatile it might seem on paper.
That's fair enough. I find it really interesting. I've been kind of trying to keep personal tabs on what the grab game has been looking out like throughout this tournament. Most people are going for the pummels or special pummel or kind of whatever. I feel like there's certain characters in the game where you need to make sure that you're mashing for special pummel because you'll just die if you don't.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other characters where I really feel like it is kind of a 50-50. You know, you don't mind too much if you get hit with the special pummel. You don't mind too much if you get hit with the normal pummel. But I also think there's situations at low percents where, you know, the risk is not necessarily worth it. Like going for the pummel when you could have a 60 to 70% tech situation isn't necessarily like the most optimal play.
Yeah, I will say, I think these are two characters that get a lot out of their special pummels. But we haven't really seen you. Oh,
no, that's so crispy.
Absolutely a bummer there for Tac0caT, just going a little too deep. Kragg able to just kind of get out of the way of that second fair. I'm kind of surprised the pillar didn't hit Tac0caT, but I guess he probably died around the same time the pillar came out.
Yeah, I thought there were a couple opportunities where Tac0caT maybe could have gotten back, but I really thought the double fair was going to end up being the game there. And again, like a pretty creative use of Tether, using the landing nair to go right into the Tether on the left side into a double fair is something I at least haven't seen before. And so I like seeing new little uses of it like that, especially where it looks true.
Yeah, Tether's generally at its strongest when you can have, when you knock the opponent right next to the blast zone, because then you're able to hit them with kind of anything and have a reasonable chance of it killing. Especially, you know, you see a lot of like Tether off the top with like Tether up air and Tether nair. Though in this game, I do feel like I'm seeing more of the side blast zone Tethers.
They seem not bad. Like you said, we've seen a couple of them throughout the day, and honestly, I feel like one of the strengths of Maypul in this game actually happens to be how relatively consistent her kill power is to a lot of the other characters in the game. I think Maypul and Kragg in particular are, you know, very, very consistent in terms of when they get kills, whereas other characters, you know, like Claren or Zetterburn or Rano or whatever, have the potential to kill very early, but it often feels like they're either killing you at like 80 or 90 or like 150.
Trying to get some jabs in here at ledge. Moonpool jab, but not exactly as reliable of a combo tool as a lot of other jabs.
Oh no! Okay, managed to get back.
Yeah, no ledge hog there from Bio. And somehow Taco turning that situation around and taking the first stock of the game himself.
Yeah, really nice call out on the jump there, allowing him to take that stock pretty quickly. Again, not letting Kragg to live till like 200 I consider a win most of the time, and so Taco doing a good job in that instance to make sure that wasn't going to happen. I haven't really seen that special getup pay dividends so far. It's been punished weakly a couple of times, so maybe mixing up the getup option, not necessarily going for something so aggressive or so easy to punish might work out in Tac0caT's favor.
Yeah, Terry's probably the weirdest ledge special we've seen so far.
I think Terry's pretty cool, especially when people are trying to actually get you at the ledge. You can mix it up with the get-up attack, which has 2 hits for Maypul, so it kind of sets up a weird situation where you're blocking 3 hits of the player coming off the ledge, which is a little strange. Another jump caught.
Yeah, that is forward strong from Maypul. I'm pretty sure it does have a sweet spot on the tip in this game, which, as far as I'm aware, is not the case in the first game. I feel like it kills so much earlier, generally speaking.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is, like I said, kind of that consistent kill power that Maypul has. It's able to set up, whether it be with Lily, whether it be with Tether setups, anything else, into those smash attacks a little bit more reliably than a lot of the other characters in the game. And I feel like, you know, because of the range and kind of, yeah, mostly just the range on the strong attacks, they're a little bit safer than a lot of the other smash attacks in this game, which kind of lend themselves to throwing them out every now and again, just to making your opponent know that you're willing to do it.
And they were seeing comboing into the down strong right there. Bio off stage in a very... Oh, my head pillar.
Yep. That's why you don't go off stage against Kragg. That's like the 5th time I've seen Bio turn a situation like that into a game today.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a pretty bad, dangerous situation for Bio to be in. Nah, just bear down B. It is a classic confirm for Kragg. You see it all the time. It's weird because it's definitely tricky to combo into that down B, but it hits so hard at such an uncomfortable angle for most characters.
Yeah, the angle, I mean, you couldn't really ask for better at like 45-degree away from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, starting off immediately with the down special, able to combo into the fair. Grab though on the reversal and a little combo, nothing too much. Bio able to get himself out of danger using the pillar and the rock actually to mix up shield in that situation, and now 80% is already racked up.
Yeah, honestly, if that was Rivals 1, I feel like that would have killed, but you know, Taco still holding on to the stock for now, even if only barely. A lot of things are going to start killing Maypul here with her being one of the latest characters in the game.
That is really clever though, throwing the rock up before you do the pillar to kind of mix up 1, the hit from the pillar, 2, a hit from you if you decide to do it, and then 3, the hit from the falling rock.
I don't think I've ever seen a Kragg do that in this game. Bio using the hit off of the Lily to convert into, or not even convert, just to call out the parry option from Tac0caT. Lily can't be hit in the first game, but you know, Kragg can jump cancel off of his side beyond hit. So just an insane interaction, like having such awareness for every character's new mechanics and exactly how you can use them against them.
Yeah, it's really clever. I actually really like that one thing about Kragg is how much he's able to cancel it off of. It creates a lot of situations where there's unique play between characters, where Kragg is able to cancel the side B off of some stuff you might not expect and kind of express combos in a different way like that.
For sure. Until coming out.
Not quite a forwarder near the ledge should do the trick if Bio's able to find it. Deep off stage now, no tether means he's gonna have to go straight to the ledge. No grab on the ledge means that he's able to get back to the stage. Now throwing Kragg off stage. You can't give him Kragg. You joking? You can't give him Kragg, and now a reversal off the ledge. But the back of the nair is going to convert into the up air for the stock, and an early pillar means an early 31%, but the answer back from Tac0caT is swift.
Yeah, goes for the uppercut. Pretty strong way to steal out some surprise kill confirms, but not quite paying off that time. And Bio hitting the down B. That might be
Just hold that there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Maypul are
That's crazy.
You know, in Rivals 1, obviously you have like the double, you know, the up B wall jump kind of stuff going on. So yeah. Maypul, what I found is that she gains much less height in this game compared to the first due to not being able to do 2 uppies with her recovery like that, and Bio taking full advantage of that to steal out this first top 8 stop.
Yeah, that was super clean. That was super clean. Bio looked pretty comfortable. A lot of the time, it is hard to challenge a good Kragg player. I feel like you really have to. You have to do a lot of work to make sure he's not able to play the game. And what I mean by that is, like, because he's a fast faller, and not like a mid-weight or something like that, you know, a lot of those like easy bait combos that work on characters like Loxodont don't work on Kragg.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be really on point with when he's put in a tech situation, when you can capitalize on that and not missing. And so because of his weight and because he's a fast faller, you actually have opportunities to put him in those situations where you're tech chasing him over and over and over, or you're getting conversions over and over and over, and you eventually just kill him with whatever happens to be at the end of that. That being said, that's a lot easier said than done, and really requires you as the other player to not mess it up. Because when you do, that's when you get reversaled, and that's when your life sucks.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. I've noticed, like, at least as Claren,